Hi, Farming Community. It's Mike here, and I've had a few days up in Edinburgh in Scotland, and amongst the sightseeing, I managed to get round a couple of the record shops, and I picked up one or two things that I'll show you a bit later on. But first of all, I want to show you some lovely VCLT. So when I got back, on my doorstep was a package, and it was from my good friend Mike, PC31, down in Portsmouth. Now, Mike was going to send me an album quite recently, and he'd bought it and was just about to send it when he found out that I'd bought a copy myself. And that album was Romance by Fontaine's DC, which is absolutely superb album. You've got to get it. Lovely Irish band, I love them. But not to be thwarted, Mike decided that he was going to get me something else. And he knew that a while ago I'd said I liked a band called Just Mustard. Now, Just Mustard are from Dundalk in Ireland, and they're very much a sort of shoegazy sort of band. And Steve Carlson, I think, was the first person to show them, and I was hooked, and Mike was hooked. And whereas Mike went out and bought some Just Mustard albums, I didn't get around to it. So I was really pleased that he sent me the second album. And this is absolutely brilliant. So it's by Just Mustard. It's from 2022 and it's called Heart Under. And this album, like the first one, got sort of shoegaze elements in it, but it's much more sort of noise rock. And Mike says he prefers this album to the first one. And I must say, I agree with you, Mike. I mean, this is absolutely brilliant. I mean, the vocals on here are stunning. Katie Bull is a female vocalist, and then David Noonan is the male vocalist on this. And, it's an absolutely brilliant album. And it came with this sort of fold out insert, and in the middle, you probably won't be able to read that, but on there's sort of handwritten sort of lyrics, and on the back you've got various pictures of the band. There they are, and I'll show you the vinyl as well because it's a rather nice fetching blue. There you go. That's the album. But not only did he send me the Just Mustard album, which was so generous anyway, he sent me this, and it's from 1984. It's Spear of Destiny. So this is the band. Kirk Brandon, who's the vocalist and songwriter of the band. One-Eyed Jacks from 1984. And I've got a little bit of Spear of Destiny, but not a great deal. They're a post-punk band. They're from London, and they're really, really good. And I was really pleased to get this. This again is an absolutely brilliant album. I think sort of standout tracks on here would be Don't Turn Away. I think it's an absolutely brilliant track, and the final track on side one, Liberator, as well. Great way to end side one of the album. So this is Spear of Destiny and One-Eyed Jacks. I'll show you the record as well, because the labels, one of these sort of bespoke sort of labels. There you go. That's Spear of Destiny. But it didn't stop there with two albums. Mike also sent me something else. Now, I think a lot of you will know that Mike's a member of a Kinks tribute band called Kept Alive, but he's also a talented singer-songwriter in his own right, and he sent me his EP, and here it is. It's called My Brave Soldier, and it's a 5-track EP, and it's about troops in World War I, and it says this EP is dedicated to those who made the ultimate sacrifice during the Great War, 1914 to 1918, those who gave their lives to protect our freedom. And then it says, in tribute to those heroes, all profits from this EP goes to the Help for Heroes Fund. Now, the Help for Heroes Fund is a charity that was set up to help ex-servicemen and women to adjust sort of back into civilian life. And so again, you know, I mean, Mike's such a generous guy. So, you know, this album's EP is really, really nice. I mean, all the songs are written by Mike. It's a solo album, you know. It's sort of, you know, Mike and his guitar. And as I say, there's 5 tracks on here. So you've got My Brave Soldier, the Pals Battalions, which I'll come back to in a minute, Sweet John Doe, Crystal Tears, and the final track, An Army Man. And Mike tells me that that final track is dedicated to his granddad. So that's really nice. And Mike's also got a YouTube channel, you know, devoted to his singer-songwriter stuff. And if I remember, I'll leave a link to that in the description so you can hear Mike's stuff for yourself. But I know that a lot of you like a little bit of history, and I do too. So I'm looking at you particularly, Morton Asted, and I know you like a bit of history. So the Pals Battalions, it's quite a sort of tragic sort of chapter in the history of the British Army. So when Britain joined World War I in 1914, there was a big recruitment drive led by Lord Kitchener. And one of the things they decided to do was to set up local battalions that became known as Pals Battalions. So the idea was that you go to your local recruiting station, you sign up, and then you'd serve with your, you know, your friends and work colleagues in the British Army. And one such regiment was the Accrington Pals. They were the 11th Service Battalion Accrington of the East Flanks Brigade, and they formed in 1914, and it took just 10 days to complete the battalion. So a battalion is it's 1,000 men, and it's made up of 4 companies of 250 each. Now, not everybody was actually from Accrington. I think about 700 odd of the 1,000 were from Accrington, and the others were from sort of towns round and about Accrington. So places like this is Burnley, Chorley, and Blackburn. And when the war started, the Accrington Pals were posted over in Egypt for a while, and they didn't see any action. And then in 1916, they went back to Europe, and they were part of the Battle of the Somme. And on the first day of the battle, 1st of July 1916, the Accrington Pals Battalion was ordered over the top, and in a matter of minutes they were absolutely massacred. So of about 700 men from the town of Accrington, 585 of them were casualties, and 235 were killed, and 350 were wounded. And so, you know, the battalion was effectively wiped out. And you can imagine the devastating effect that this tragedy would have had on the town of Accrington. You know, so many of their young men were killed, you know, in an instant, in a matter of minutes, absolutely slaughtered. So what actually happened is after this, the British Army rethought the idea of Pals battalions, and, you know, because of these devastating consequences on communities, and they were effectively abandoned in the summer of 1916. So I just thought you might want to, you know, might want to know a little bit about that. I mean, I'm always interested in history, and as I say, I know some of you are as well. So that was that. So thank you very much, Mike. And as I say, I was up in Edinburgh last week, and as well as the usual sightseeing, I managed to get to one or two of the record shops, and included this lovely place that Jack Vinyl Voyage put me onto. Vinyl Villains, and they're in Elm Row, which is just off Leith Walk, on the way down to Leith, just just sort of near to Waverley railway station. Anyway, it's a lovely little record shop. It's quite small, but they do some really great stuff. And you know, I managed to pick up a few albums. So here we go. The first one I think will be approved of by Mike, and this is Public Image Limited Pill. And as you see down the bottom, it says live at Rock Palace 1980. But in fact, this was Peel live at Rock Palace in Bochum in Germany in 1983. So it actually says, I think it actually says that on the spine, and then on the back it acknowledges that it's October the 31st, 1983. And this is a great album. It's really nice. I suppose, you know, the picture on the front, Obey the Flowers of Romance, probably. And yeah, this is a fantastic live album, as you'd expect from Public Image Limited. And you know, as soon as I saw it there, I thought, yeah, I'm going to get that. And there you go. The labels are quite nice as well. There you go. Flowers on that side, the other side, and then so it's a double album. So you get this there and that. Right. So that was the first album I picked up. Then the next one was a bit hardcore punk. I just can't resist this sort of stuff. Chaos UK, and it's a sort of comp. So it's ear splitter, 100%, 2 fingers in the air punk rock, and it says on the back that the ear slaughter tracks were recorded in Bristol, where the band are from. They're from Portishead, you know, just outside Bristol. They were recorded at the 5 AM studio in 1985, and then the 100% 2 fingers in the air punk rock was recorded at Sonic Studio in Dublin in 1991. I don't have a lot of Chaos UK stuff, and you don't really see much of it. They were formed sort of like late 70s, but I don't think they actually recorded anything until about 82, about that time. But you know, but after that, they were still going, you know, well into 2000. I think they might still be going now, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant bit of punk here. Nina there with the lyrics and the details and everything, and the final track on side 2 has a brilliant name of Fart Yard Movie. There you go. That's punk. So yeah, that was that. And then the third album I want to show you is the wonderful Cramps. There you go. The Cramps performing songs of sex, love and hate. And as you see, it says recorded from London and Stockholm on their Date with Elvis tour, 1986. So side 1 was recorded live in Stockholm on April the 10th, 1986, and side B live at Hammersmith Odeon, March 13th, 1986. And, you know, as you'd expect from the Cramps, and I always think the Cramps are one of those bands that are best served up live. You know, they've got that dynamism, they've got that, you know, something special about them. So there you go. So that's the Cramps, a lovely live album. I'll show you the vinyl again. That's a nice sort of pink vinyl. And finally, definitely not punk at all, but definitely Scottish. And there you go, Lulu, the best of 1967 to 1975. And Lulu, you know, it's recorded from the 1960s right up to 2010s, and you know, she's had a wonderful career. But I was sort of looking up some stuff about her, and she's only had one #1 single, and rather sadly, the #1 single is the collaboration she did with Take That, Relight My Fire. So Shout which isn't on here because it's before 1967. I think made the top 10. It might have been number 5, something like that. And then Boom Bang a Bang, which was her Eurovision entry, and it got to number 2 in the UK charts, and it tied with 3 other countries, which were Spain, France, and the Netherlands, for first place. And they didn't have any tie-break sort of mechanism, so forever. 1969 Eurovision Song Contest is a 4-way dead heat. So, as I say, I picked this up because it was, firstly, it was quite cheap, and I love Lulu's voice. She's got a very sort of rock star voice. And, there you go. And that's it. So that's everything I want to show you today. So thanks once again, Mike. You're such a generous guy, and I absolutely love the Just Mustard album. And you keep doing the singing, songwriting, because you certainly know what you're doing, mate. So anyway, until next time, I'll see you. Bye.